It's time for the 3:30 Focus with Ted London, powered by the law offices of Ted London and Associates.
We are back on the afternoon show here on WVON, the voice of the nation, the voice of the Negro, and the talk of Chicago. And it is 3:37. That said, on a Thursday, that can only mean one thing, that we are indeed joined on the live line by attorney Ted London for the Legal Line. Good afternoon, good sir. How are you?
You know, hey, Atiba, I was just listening to Alderman Hall, and I wanted Alderman Hall to stay because there were probably more calls. I was appreciating the information as well. So is Alderman Hall still in the studio?
He got out of here so fast, Attorney London.
Right, well, he's a busy man.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man for sure. He is a busy man for sure.
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks for having me. As always, Atiba, a pleasure and a privilege. Now, Atiba, please forgive me. I didn't catch the name of your co-host this week. I was listening to you guys Monday,
yes, and
I didn't get her name. Please refresh my recollection of her name.
This is Miss Rashida.
Miss Rashida. Miss Rashida, good afternoon.
So good to be with you, Ted. Thank you.
It's good to talk to you. Thank you so much. Well,
so attorney, before you get in, can I take a stab at the song?
Please do. Yes, indeed.
All right, because I'll admit I don't know it, but if I had to take a guess, I would say that sounds like Chick Corea.
You know what, Atiba, that's impressive because that is a close guess, but not Chick Corea, but the same sort of eclectic vibe as a Chick Corea, but not Chick Corea. We're going to wait and see if we can get some callers who can call in and advise us who was that playing and what's the name of the tune.
Come on, so name that tune today, afternoon show edition. Give a call, 773-591-1690. If you know the name of the song, we'll give you a free gift card to
We will.
Jimmy John's.
Hey, guess what? We'll give we're going to upgrade it. If they know this artist in tune, they're class, so we're not Jimmy John and them. If you can call in, the first person that calls in, we'll give you a $50 gift card to go and have a glass of wine because you're probably a wine connoisseur as well. And we're not going to Jimmy John them. We're going to upgrade them here today. So,
I said Jimmy John's because Jimmy John's slogan is free smells.
Free. No. We want to have a free. We want them to have a free meal, free appetizer, free glass of wine, champagne, scotch, whatever it is. So, first person that calls in with the name of the tune and the artist, we'll get you a $50 gift card.
I think
Absolutely.
We got somebody already, attorney.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Brother Charles, are you calling about the song?
Oh, yes, I am.
What you got?
It's got to be my man Joe Sample with Spellbound.
Well, Brother Charles is going to get him a free glass of wine, a glass of scotch. Maybe if he's not highballing on the scotch, he maybe even sneak in a cigar there. So, Brother Charles, why don't you call my office at 773-721-3333, and we'll make arrangements to get you that $50 gift card.
Yes, I will. I'll call
Thank you for listening and tuning in.
Great job, Charles.
Great job.
All right.
So that's the one and only Joe Sample. Love Joe Sample very much.
Let the listeners know. It's done. Y'all can stop. We got the winner because they're still calling. We have the winner. It is time to transition to the show, and I know you've got some introductions.
Well, you know what we do. We have to say again, as always, such a pleasure and privilege to be on the Thursday afternoon show with Mr. Tiba. Got Miss Rashida joining you this afternoon. Thank you so very much. Again, such a pleasure and a privilege. Kelly's listening to me this afternoon. She just texted me, "Have a great show, husband." So grateful that she listens every week. And really, to all of you who tune in to the Legal Line every Thursday at 3:30, thank you very much for tuning in. Listen, this is the best part of my week. I'm trying to make it a great part of yours as well. So I hope you are enjoying these segments on Thursday at 3:30. Before we get into the show, I just want to make an announcement. Hey, Atiba,
yes,
I still feel some kind of way about Brother B's call a couple of weeks ago. That he was on me because I was
this is supposed to be a legal show.
This is supposed to be a legal show, and I happened to mention that I'm speaking hello to my wife, and I happened to mention that we were going to dinner, and he thought that I'm getting paid for this show and I should be disseminating legal information. Well, Brother B is actually right, and so what we're going to do is this coming up Tuesday, October 22nd, we're having a free legal clinic. And this is sponsored by Senator L.G. Sims' office in cooperation with my office, the law office of Ted London. Yes. This Tuesday from 5 until 7:30 at the Shine Bright Community Center. That's at 8560 South Cottage Grove Avenue. That's in the Discovery Building. So if you have legal questions, legal issues, you have friends or families that have legal questions, legal issues, you need some information, you have some questions, you don't have to pay any fees. It's 100% free. I'm going to have a team of lawyers with me to come in the community and answer your questions, get you some resolutions for some of your problems, get you some direction. So that's going to be this Tuesday, October 22nd, 5 until 7:30. At the Shine Bright Community Center. That's at the Discovery Building. It's going to be the location is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. 8560 South Cottage Grove. It's free legal information. So, again, we do have a limited number of seats. So why don't you call our office at 773-721-3333. Make sure that you have a slot, but you can walk in as well. And we are here to serve the community. Again, I'm bringing a team of lawyers out there with me, and we're going to be able to share some information. Like Brother B said, we should have been doing in the first place on the Legal Line a couple of weeks ago, and he's right, and we're taking it to the community. So if you have questions, you have issues, you want some free information, please come and join us.
Let me ask you, as far as the range of legal expertise, so these are going to be different areas of expertise?
Different areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Everything from criminal matters. A lot of moms and grandmothers are coming in asking questions about children who may have pending legal and criminal matters, just like the Alderman was just talking about. A lot of young men have pending criminal matters. Moms and grandmothers and family members, they want information. A lot of information or issues regarding real estate issues, a lot of real estate tax issues, which we don't have a lot of information on how to resolve your property tax issues. But when we did one of these legal clinics in the south suburbs a number of months ago, the place was packed, and many of the people had questions about their skyrocketing property taxes. So typically, we refer them to the assessor's office because there is a way to file an appeal there, or at the Board of Review because you can get a second bite of the apple of tax appeals if you don't win at the assessor's office. So if you do have property tax issues, you can come. We can get you some information. We can get you some information about that as well. Get questions about divorces. People are trying to determine if they get a divorce, what part of their assets they're going to have to divide, child support matters, guardianship matters, people coming in about information about car accidents and how they resolve some of those matters. So you name it, we get it.
That is fantastic.
And so, again, any kind of matter that you have, you can come, and we're going to be able to get you some information, and it's absolutely free. So that's next Tuesday, the 22nd, the Discovery Building, 85th in Cottage Grove, 5 until 7:30.
Now, the great thing about this show, Attorney London, is that they can get free legal counsel right now, right? The phone lines are open.
Hey, contrary to what Brother B was mentioning that day, you can always call the legal line. This is what this is for, is to call in and get some information. And you have to know, many people have the same questions that you may have. You may just be the one that asks it. But it's just like in school, the one person that raises their hand is really going to benefit the whole class. So if you have a question, you don't have to disclose your name. They're all private and confidential with respect to your name. And ask a question, you're going to benefit the whole class.
There you go, 773-591-1690. The phone lines are open.
Now, Atiba, today I want to talk about families fighting after death. Families fighting after death. Boy, it's been a heck of a week this week with families fighting after death. So let me go straight into Tales from the Law Office. These are real stories. A middle-aged man passed away not long ago, passed away at home in hospice, had a long-time girlfriend as his caregiver living with him. He passed away in the home, children there as well. Children and girlfriends started fighting. Someone ends up arrested, put in handcuffs, taken away. This is while the gentleman is still in the home. He is not out of the home yet. And fighting, people arrested. Now the issue is who owns the home. The girlfriend says she owns the home. The children says there's no way she owns the home. No one knows what's going on right now with the real estate property, worth about $500,000 or so. No mortgage on it at all. And the children are fighting. Children are fighting with the long-term girlfriend. Now, literally fighting, fist fighting. Someone's arrested. This is not uncommon. We see often when people are in long-term relationships and there is no estate planning, and I'm talking about people who have been in relationships for sometimes 20 plus years, and one of the partners pass away. Then the issue is who's going to get the home, who's going to get the money. And if there's no estate planning, the survivor of that long-term relationship is not going to be entitled to anything at all. And I've seen these people. Sometimes they're the men, sometimes they're the ladies in these relationships. And I've seen them in my office, and they are devastated and heartbroken because they put in sometimes decades, and there was no planning, and then they're not entitled to one nickel, and they're not entitled to an extra day in the property. And I've seen family members come and demand that long-term relationship partner leaves that property immediately, and it can get violent. And so, but we've been seeing more and more of these kind of matters in our office where people are in these long-term relationships. There's no estate planning. Someone passes away, sometimes expectedly, and there's still no planning, and sometimes unexpectedly, and it becomes really, really brutal.
Let me ask you this, Attorney London. Have you ever seen a scenario where you laid out everything that you just said, but the caveat being that the deceased person was legally still married, but just never went through the formality of getting divorced, and then that long-term partner not only did they not get anything, but the marriage partner who hasn't been involved at all gets everything because of the law?
We've seen it that way. Yes, we have seen where people have been, and people should know this. If you are separated and you are not divorced, if you pass away or your spouse passes away, notwithstanding that you're divorced, may not have even spoken to each other in years, that spouse is going to be the one that's going to be entitled to the pension. They're going to be entitled to at least half of the assets, the real estate, and the financial accounts. And that's if you haven't even contacted that person sometimes in decades. We do see this where people have been separated for years and sometimes decades, and then someone passes away and that spouse reappears to make a claim, and guess what? They're going to be entitled to at least half. And here's what we also see. We also see people have now second marriages, and then there is no estate planning, and sometimes they have been in marriages for decades, and perhaps one of the spouses has a home solely in their name, and then that person passes away, no estate planning. Now the biological children from perhaps a first marriage is going to be entitled to at least half of everything as well. And then that leaves the surviving spouse devastated because now they're going to get a portion of the real estate. And the surviving spouse thinks they're going to be entitled to the entirety of the estate, typically the real estate and the financial accounts, and they are not. And sometimes that child will come in and force a sale because they're entitled to half, and that surviving spouse may not be able to buy them out with half of the value. So they've been in these homes sometimes for decades, and they are forced out because now they have to pay the children half of the value, and they can't afford to do it. And believe me, they are mad. And I've seen this with men survivors and lady survivors as well. So if you are in a long-term relationship, if you are in a second marriage, please whether you're the husband or the wife in these relationships, please make sure you have your affairs in order because it can be devastating to your surviving spouse or your surviving mate, if you will.
All right, we've got a call on line 4. We've got Shy. Thank you, Shy. Thank you for calling. You are on with Attorney Ted London.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Hi, Shy. Good afternoon to you.
Thank you. I'm calling because I opened up an account with the bank, and I opened it under the premise that I would be getting the interest rate that they told me I would get the money that I deposit. And after 6 months, when I checked back, they told me that because I opened the account on the day before I put the other money in, the balance of it, that now I'm not entitled to that, but that's not what it stipulated. They're saying that it wasn't done at the same day. At that point, it was no longer a new account. So
it sounds like you opened up a what is that, Tiva? A money market account or some sort of CD?
It wasn't a CD. It was a savings.
It was a savings account.
A savings account where they said if you put X amount of dollars in that account, in a new account, which I asked the representative, I said, well, I only have access for this amount of money. I'll have to bring a cashier check in for the balance. And she told me that would be fine. I would still be entitled to the promotion.
To the interest rate, to the promotional rate. Well, you know what, that's all contractual. So you have to get a copy of the initial contract that you sign, and it may say yes, this promotion is only good for the initial deposit, or it will say up to some point that you can deposit the money. So it's really contract specific. It
said up to I could deposit it up to February something date, but anyway, it was the 2nd of February, and I submitted the balance on the 3rd of February, so I still had time for that promotion.
Well, now what you're saying is ambiguous. You're saying that the letter of the contract said you have to deposit by February 2nd is what you just said, and then you said you deposited on February 3rd. So that's the difference.
Okay, I know there's a difference, but I was told that I could do it that way. That's why. If not, I could have waited that one extra day, to do what I needed to do. I was told I could still open up the account and put the balance in the very next day or before that, before that promotion ended.
You know what? If you want to get a copy of the agreement, and bring it into my office, or you can even bring it in next Tuesday at 8560 South Cottage Grove at the Discovery Center, 5 until 7:30, and let's take a look at it. Because it is very specific. It's not that the language of the contract is not ambiguous, and the language is going to supersede whatever statement that personal banker said to you.
Okay, so even if you have to gave me erroneous information.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Because you know what I find, and no disrespect to some of the bankers out there, but oftentimes they give a lot of misinformation when it comes to people collecting money after people have passed away. Oftentimes they tell people they need letters of office and they must go through the probate process to collect amounts that does not require letters of office and going through the expensive, time-consuming, stressful probate process. So those bankers aren't lawyers, and I find that they regularly give misinformation. But just to be clear with you, the letter of that agreement is going to be what's controlling.
Okay. Well, okay. I will do that. I will try to bring it into you or meet with you on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We appreciate the call. We've got more callers, Attorney. We've got Maddie on line 1. Hey, Maddie, you're on with Attorney London.
Hello, Attorney London. I'm always glad
Maddie.
when I hear you on the show. I have a question.
Thank you.
My husband is deceased, and he was collecting Social Security. And when I went to the Social Security office, they said that I'm not entitled to his Social Security. So I wanted that looked into. Do you think your office could handle something like that?
Let me ask you a quick question, man. How long were you guys married?
43 years we were together. So we were
Social Security on your own?
Now say that again.
Do you collect Social Security on your own?
No, I don't. I have I have my retirement.
Oh, got it. Okay. Sounds like perhaps an educator. Got it.
We were married 36 years, together 43 years.
Got it. Did they give you any reason why you would not be eligible for his Social Security?
Well, they explained to me, they didn't put it in writing, that since I get a retirement, I'm not entitled to his Social Security.
Here's what I would like for you to do, Maddie, for me to really be able to help you. I'd like to see something written from the Social Security Administration, and let's see what their cause is for denying you, the Social Security benefits. Then I can better assess it if I can see specifically what the reason for the denial is.
Okay, I'll see, because I don't believe they gave me anything in writing, but I'm a look.
See if they will. If you applied and they denied, they should have sent a response in writing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look, and I'm going to make an appointment with your office.
Please do.
All right. Thank you so much.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Miss Maddie. And we have one more call. Hope is on line 2. Hey, Hope, you are on with Attorney London.
Yes, Attorney London. Do you deal with probate matters in the surrounding states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois? And my next question is this. In a perpetual corporation that's an LLC where there's 2 partners and the managing partner dies and there's no operating agreements, what's the implications for probate? I'll hang up and listen to you. Thank you.
Well, that's a good question. If there's an LLC and there are 2 partners, and there is an operating agreement, typically an operating agreement is what's going to spell out who's going to be entitled to what. So the issue with this matter is that operating agreement, does it reflect that they own this entity in what's called joint tenancy, which means if one of them passed away, the survivor gets the whole entity, or is it in tenancy in common? That is, they both own their own half, and if one of them passes away, then the person that passed away, their heirs will get their share, but it's going to have to be probated. So really, again, these kind of things are document specific. And so if you want to, again, bring in the operating agreement, and let's review that, and let's see, is it joint tenancy in common? Do you own the whole entity, or does the person that passed away, does their heir own their half? And then if their heirs own their half, then yes, that half will have to be probated, and presumably you'll still own your half, and the other families will own the other half. But we got to review the documents, document specific.
And the documents is king.
That's going to be the operating agreement. Yep. And here's what we find, Atiba and Ms. Rashida. Oftentimes people have LLCs or corporations, and they don't have an operating agreement. At least they do have an operating agreement. Now let's read the language. But oftentimes there is no operating agreement. If someone goes to heaven, you absolutely categorically are going to have to go through the probate process to transfer the interest of that LLC or corporation to the heirs. Very complicated, very expensive, can easily be avoided just by having an operating agreement with your LLC that names a successor to the managing partners. So we see that very often where people have these LLCs, they don't have the operating agreement, causes their loved ones to go through the expensive probate process once they pass away.
All right, Attorney London, as always, it has been fantastic and informative speaking with you. Great to hear your voice, man. I'm so glad.
Atiba, you know what? It's always good to see you too, Atiba. We're going to have to see each other again really soon, have some drinks, some pizza, some salad, for sure.
That's it.
And, hey, Atiba, and some laughs, for sure.
And some laughs. And some laughs. So great to talk to you.
One last time, next Tuesday, the 22nd, 5 until 7:30, the Discover Center, 8560 South Cottage Grove. Free legal information. Going to have a whole team out there for you. If you need us, please join us.
All right. Attorney London, until next time, have a great week.
Indeed. Thank you. Bye now.
I was having a medical procedure, and I wanted to ensure my kids would get my home should something happen to me. I called attorney Ted London. He provided a land trust and power of attorney. Now my kids would not have to go through the probate process.
After the death of my husband, I had to get my affairs in order. I called attorney Ted London. Now my family and home will not have to go through the probate process.
When you need your estate plan done, call attorney London.
773-721-3333.